Welcome back to Insights from the Couch. I'm Colette Fair, your co-host, licensed marriage and family therapist, here with my fabulous co-host, Laura Bowman, licensed mental health counselor. And today we're doing our final Minisode, holiday Minisode, and we're going to try to really be mini this time.
No, we're never really mini, are we?
Because when Laura and I get talking, it doesn't end, but you don't want to miss today's episode. It will be short and sweet, and we're talking about chasing joy, finding joy, grabbing those nuggets. What better time to focus on this than during the holidays when there's so much stress and it can seem more challenging than ever?
Is this hard for you?
Finding joy?
Yeah, chasing
Is that
joy.
what we're talking about? Okay.
Yeah, like, is this hard for you?
No, I
It's
have
not
to
hard
be
for me
honest.
either.
Really?
No, it's
Okay.
like so effortless, which I feel, I don't know. I wonder if it's as easy for other people.
Well, I know for a fact it's not easy for some people because they're in my office, and I
Yeah.
know you have that too. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, so let's just set the stage, and then we're going to challenge ourselves to be short and sweet and to the point on this one. But we acknowledge as human beings that we're wired to focus on the negative. So we have to really pay attention to the little bits that are good. And we've got to be intentional about that, or we're not going to do it, no matter how easy it is. I do think it's easier now that I'm a therapist. Do you find that too? Like, I feel like I've trained myself to some degree.
I think I'm wired this way.
Okay.
Like, I just think
You feel like you're walking around like a bundle of joy all the time? Because I don't
No.
feel that. Okay.
No,
Because that's going to make me hate you. Yeah.
No. I get
Don't make me
annoyed.
hate you.
I spend a lot of time annoyed, and I love it. What you said about your daughters fighting like prison inmates. Like, I was reflecting on how I didn't talk about like what a weird season I'm in with my kids. Like, they're a little too old to be here. And we're in that like liminal space where everybody wants to get the fuck out, but they're like, they still want to be taken care of. So I spend a lot of time like in that low level annoyance. It's
Okay.
just easy for me to shift into like a bigger picture.
Okay. So talk about some of the things you do to find joy.
So most of my stuff is just really bound. I'm a really routinized person. I love routine. I love I do. I mean, I like
No, I
novels
know. I don't mean
too,
to be a bitch. I think most
wow,
people.
Colette, don't make me hate you.
Okay. I'll try.
Shit all over my strengths.
I know. It's great. I just hate routine. I'm sorry. I should conceal my reactions better.
Okay. No, but
We
I'm
know
just
that's
like,
my strong suit.
that's just like where I find a lot of groundedness. So like my
But do you
daily
find
run.
joy in routine?
Yes.
Okay.
I find so much like sensory comfort and like excitement in just my day to day.
Okay.
So like my coffee, I could say there's endless joy in coffee for me. I don't know if you can relate to this.
Oh, that I can relate to. I feel
Right.
the same.
Like a glass of wine. I always like, there's just a sensory level of enjoyment and like bliss there.
Yeah.
Running and my walks, my Saturday runs are just so dialed in and like, I get so much out of them. I love it. I love a hot shower. I can deal with anything if I have a hot shower.
Me too.
Life can really suck as long as there's a hot shower around the corner.
Okay, so what I'm hearing you say is that you find joy in the small daily pleasures.
Yes.
And that you're savoring those things, and that the routinized aspect of it, like having like a structure and a routine, brings you like comfort, and that you're able to, and I think this is the key part for people, is being able to stop and smell the roses. Right? Because there are these little pockets of good in everyone's day. And are we paying attention to them and taking them in and savoring them the way you are?
Yeah.
As you say this, I'm trying to think about like, what the fuck brings me joy? I don't know. I feel like I feel everything very intensely as a human being. This is no surprise to you, and probably not to anybody listening at this point either. So if I'm sad, I'm really sad. If I'm happy, I'm really happy. I mean, I do think I experience more positive because I feel things so intensely.
Yeah.
And when I'm sad, let's just say, I don't usually stay there long, but I feel it deeply. But I don't know that I am always paying attention to everything so much. I think I'm just I also feel like I have a lot going on, but I know what brings me joy primarily is connection with people.
Yeah, see, you're better at getting connection with a wide range of people. I like connection with people as well, but I only really like it if it's at a certain depth, which
Yeah.
you can't always get to, right, with everybody. Like that
Yeah.
only comes with certain people and certain levels of closeness. So there's a lot of people that I'm like, I'm kind of dragged out that I even have to interact with.
Yeah.
But unless we get to a certain depth, and then that's my magic spot. And I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
loving this. I'm loving this space.
Yeah.
But having to just go and do the get to know you phase
Mm.
of people feels
Hmm.
really, really taxing for me.
I understand that. I think as we get older, the superficial, the banal, the bullshit small talk is just annoying. I do think, though, I enjoy the getting to know you phase because I'm really curious about people and I just fundamentally like people. Like, if could have two things in the world, it would be books and people.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. If I could have three things, it would be books, people, and dogs.
Dogs.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
all over my list. Anything with the dog.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I don't really care about that much else. Now, this is assuming that food is a given because I have to, and not just food. I don't want to just survive. I want
Good
really
food.
good foodie food. Yes.
Foodie food.
Foodie food. That's a
See,
given.
you're like sensual like that too. Like
I am
you
very sensory.
yes, like it's just
Okay.
all that.
Yeah. So now that I'm saying this, before we move into how do you notice what the nuggets are for you, as I'm talking, the things that bring me joy, right? A lot of it involves sensory, like in the moment. I always joke I'm a hedonist. There's an element to that. I feel like I'm a benign hedonist, but like a really good meal that's beautifully presented on the plate, a really good
Yes.
conversation, because I too want to go deep. I think I just try to get everybody to go deep, even the person that I meet like in passing. They may or may not go with me, but a good deep conversation where you're learning something, you're hearing interesting ideas, you're sharing, there's vulnerability, there's authenticity. That is like, those are my favorite moments. And sometimes they happen with surprising people. Going somewhere new and having a new experience,
Yeah.
exploring something. I had a baby who came to one of my sessions today, and the baby, and I'm not like the queen of babies, but this baby is so stinking cute. And as I'm trying to be all serious and process the relationship dynamic with the parents, the baby is just
Oh
smiling
my
at me
gosh.
and flirting with me and like putting her head. And I was so seduced by this baby. I just kept like cooing at her. And at the end, she let me hold her. I mean, it was just a moment of pure joy. She smelled like baby. She was so happy. It was amazing. Making out with a puppy, right? Like puppy breath
Making
licking your
out with a
face. You know how a
puppy.
puppy will just like,
Yes.
that is joy. It's like the sound of music, like girls in white dresses with blue satin sashes. I mean, that's what we're talking about,
But
right?
music is the same for me too. Like music in my car in the morning when I'm
Yeah.
alone
Yeah.
driving to work.
I agree.
Nothing better than that.
I agree.
I love it. I mean, and
Remember when I rolled into Toastmasters and got made fun of because I was
you're
blaring
hilarious.
Madonna at
Although
6:30?
I learned that you see this is the difference between you and me.
Yeah.
Like we were in the car and you're like jamming some sort of like ABBA tune or something with like a total upbeat, and I'm like total minor key. Like everything is like some like Bob Dylan like folk song. Like I love lyrics and like moodiness for my
Yeah.
music.
Yeah. I like some of that. Like I watched this documentary on yacht rock on HBO Max. It was
Yacht rock
so
is
good.
great.
It
Yeah.
was so good. And Kenny Loggins said, like, it's music, the music that really like speaks to you is music that makes you cry or makes you want to dance. And I was
Yes.
like, oh my God, that's exactly the songs I love best either evoke deep emotion or they make me want to dance. I will say joy for me is also dancing. I'm not a good dancer, but I love to dance. I feel so alive in those moments.
I have to be like sort of intoxicated. Like it's very hard for me to
I
like
don't.
let that loose. Joe and I didn't dance at our wedding.
Oh my
Like
God.
I want to be tucked in a corner, like talking. Like it's very hard for me to get to that level of like really serious like playfulness. Like I can.
Mm.
It's just I don't drop into it
It's the
easily.
German. It's your
It's the
German.
German in me.
Yeah.
And to that
Yeah.
end, it's like big environments or like things that are
Yeah.
supposed to be fun that
Yeah.
most like people going to that Electric Daisy Carnival.
Oh, God,
Oh
Curran
my
goes.
God. Like
Well, that sounds like hell to me too.
just kill me. Like
Yeah.
my nervous system can't take it. So most things that are fun for other people tend not to be fun for me.
Well, and it's so interesting. I mean, I don't want to go to that EDC thing either, where everybody's on like hardcore drugs and packed in like sardines. I'm claustrophobic. I go to bed at 9 o'clock. So I'm arguably not that fun anymore. However, there could be, I do not need to be intoxicated. If you put on music that I liked and there were people around, I would like get up and
I
dance with
know
like
you
my
would.
friend, like sober, even though I'm not a good dancer. Those I do feel like I have, and it's a good point. I am very playfully wired. I have serious parts, obviously. I mean, I'm not like playing through my couples therapy sessions, but I really am like wired to be goofy and playful and silly and have fun in those ways, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah. And I married somebody like that. So
Right.
somebody has to bring it.
And I married a German. Right. I mean, American, but like German,
I know
right?
what you mean.
Steve, I cannot get Steve to dance. I've never seen Steve dance. I one time heard him singing a little in the shower and I was like, holy shit, he's actually like singing I mean, that's how much he just doesn't let himself go.
Yeah.
I mean, I just sang on air for a second, actually, and I have the worst voice. I'm the most tone deaf person. But I
But
would
I
like break into song.
but I think what we're saying, and this could be easy or hard for you, but to the extent to which you can let yourself drop into the
Yes.
dailiness of life, the sweet spots of life, the playfulness of life, the more you can do that, the happier you're going to be, no matter what's
Yes.
going on in your life. No matter how much money you're
Absolutely.
making, no matter what the circumstances are, it's either you're noticing these things or you're blowing past them.
Exactly. It's kind of like Pollyanna, right? Do you remember that movie?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't remember it enough maybe to make the analogy work, but she wasn't really like a little priss. It was like focusing on the small things that make a difference. And I think that was more geared toward kindness, but it really is being present in your life and savoring the thing. I love my coffee too, but half the time here it is cold and half drunk from 6:45 a.m.
Ugh, well, that's
I
not good
know, I know.
coffee.
Well, it's been a very, very, very long, intense day. But, you know, am I paying attention always, even to the things that bring me joy? And even as we say this, and I say, puppies and dancing. When's the last time I like held a puppy? When's the last time I went dancing? Right? I mean, I haven't. And I think it's up to me and up to all of us to notice what fills us up when life can be so obligation laden and find ways to like, even if it's even if it's just blaring a song in your car and like stopping to sing to it, but it's got to be what works for you.
Yeah, because we're all different. It's all different. I have a camera, like on my camera roll, I have a whole album and it's titled Food and Beauty.
Ah,
And I've got like, I
I
don't know how
love
many
that.
photos in there, but it's these gorgeous like travel photos. There are Enzo's meals is in there, like
I love
food that
it.
I've cooked. Like I make a lot of soups and I bake a lot of that. Holiday decor, like stuff that I just notice.
Yeah.
And I will like soothe in that camera roll. Like if like the
Yeah.
day has been long, I pull it
Yeah.
up and I just look and I'm like, no, life is really beautiful.
Well, I think that's something to hold on to, that the beauty in the world, it does have an effect on our mental health. I swear, I know it's not exactly unique to love Italy, right? It's like the most beloved place. And
It's
I
a
know
meme.
I'm
Yeah.
also biased because I'm Italian American. But I think a big part of what I love about being in Italy is that everything is so beautiful and everything is geared around the sensual pleasures in life, the small daily things. People are chit-chatting with each other and like the life is designed around the communal space of the
Mm.
square and connection. Your espresso is in this perfect, beautiful, dainty little cup. The buildings are beautiful. The food is beautiful. It tastes good. Nothing's processed, artificial, or rushed. So, are there ways, and this is a rhetorical question. There are ways to slow down and notice and build in what you love into your day. And maybe it's making a folder of pictures. Maybe it's taking 5 minutes to write down gratitude. This isn't really just about the holidays, it's a way of living.
It's a way of living for sure. And really noticing the the graceful, beautiful, like just like I drive my kid to school in the morning and pick him up, and those are our best conversations.
Yeah.
Like I'm really
Yeah.
aware of how time limited that is and how
Yeah.
special those moments are, and I'm there for it. Like I'm
Yes.
really there.
Okay, what you're saying and seeing a little bit of a tear in your eyes as you say that, right? Like
Yeah,
that's the most joyful in life,
that's it.
connection with the people you love. This is making me, and I hope all of you who are listening, going into the holidays where you may be doing activities you don't really want to do or be subject to family dynamics that you feel put upon and that are even emotionally really taxing, that really show up for the people who matter. And when you're there, be there because none of us is guaranteed a tomorrow. And, maybe there's one person at that dreaded Christmas party that you really like. Go have a conversation with them and really
Yes.
show up for it. I'm going to take this into my trip in New York where we're going to be packed into my mother's house as I'm on the air mattress, bitching my head off, hopefully silently in my inner voice. I never get to see my brother. I love my brother. I mean, I love everyone, but like, I want to savor that time. I want to find some way in the midst of the chaos to connect with him. My daughters are adults now. They have busy lives. I don't get to be with them, right? I
Yep.
hope we're not all like killing each other and we can really drop into, even briefly, the specialness of those moments.
Yeah. And realize that it's an option to be in that low level annoyance all the time, but there's another option too. And that's
Right,
just to remember how time limited some of these dynamics are.
right.
And, I said to one of my kids today, I said, these are the good old days.
I know. Fuck.
It's like,
You are
oh,
going to look
really?
back and be like, oh my God, I
I
had it
wish we could
so
all be in a house together screaming at each other.
totally. Right. It's really true.
Yeah.
So, one little helpful thing before we wrap up is I do like one thing that helps me interrupt when I'm mired in annoyance, which does happen often, right? I get very easily frustrated by things like bad drivers, which Florida is filled with, and, people being slow. I'm not very patient. If people move slowly, I want to kill them. So, something that helps me when something pushes my buttons and I have a big reaction is that I think about the 5-5-5 rule. Like, will
Mm-hmm.
this matter to me in 5 hours? Will this matter to me in 5 days? Will this matter to me in 5 months? And you can do it 5 minutes, 5 hours, 5 days, however you want to do it. But it helps bring back that observing ego, the part of your brain that can notice what you're experiencing as you're experiencing it. And we know from a mental health perspective, that creates a little distance and a little perspective. It helps you separate from feelings. So it's a great way to go, okay, I'm so worked up because this guy's in the left lane and he should be letting me pass. Is this going to matter in even 5 minutes? Actually,
Mm-hmm.
no. So why let it affect my headspace? And it's just a great way to shift.
Yep. No, I love that.
Any other parting thoughts that you think would be helpful as a therapist, even like what you tell clients or to shift to really help you notice the
I mean,
good?
I think I'm sympathetic to people who don't live in their right brain almost exclusively the way I do, but
Yeah, me too.
I I am able to see that the creative, the the humor, the sensory, so that I'm pretty able to connect into that. But maybe we'll make a little list of those qualities that are really like
Yeah.
right brain driven that people can just remind themselves to be here now, to enjoy what's in front of them
Yeah,
and to
let's do
savor
that.
it. Yeah.
And add it to the show notes. I like that. I think one more good point, humor, right? I can't believe we haven't
Humor.
talked about it
Ah,
yet. This is definitely a big way. I think I'm really good and willing and able to laugh at myself, not in a way I'm putting myself down, just to laugh at myself and not take myself so seriously, or I can get whipped up into something and then I'm like, I'm being kind of ridiculous and it's funny to me. Laughing with other people. I mean, laughter is such good medicine, right?
yeah.
Playfulness, laughter, noticing the small things, and real connection with people. I think
Yeah.
that's some of the
That's it.
best
That's it. That sums
stuff
it
that's
up.
out there. Yeah.
You watch somebody like die. I mean, I don't want to be morbid, but like if you've
Hmm.
lost anybody, you realize what bullshit falls away.
Yeah.
And all that is left is like that connectivity and just love. And so reminding yourself that that's what really matters is just the connection and the love and that perspective.
Yes,
So
and
all of
being
that.
true to yourself. Like Bronnie, where I always quote this in the top 5 regrets of the dying, the number one, she was a hospice nurse.
Mm-hmm.
The number one regret of the dying is I wish I had lived my life
Life.
like according to me, the way I
Yep.
wanted to.
Yep. Authentic, honesty with
Yes.
self. And yeah,
Yes, all
100%.
of that. So this then concludes season 2 from Insights
Yeah.
from the Couch. We're wrapping up for the holidays and we will be back on Wednesday, January 8th
And we
with
have
the
a big season. What is it, 3 now?
Yeah, it'll be
Season
season
3
3.
up. Like it
Yep.
is, it is all
Yep.
wrapped up
We
pretty
have
much.
it's all wrapped up. We have so many great guests and episodes. We're going to be covering all kinds of topics we haven't touched on yet. I can't remember any of them off the top of my head. I wish I did, but I do know they're fabulous. Do you remember anything? I'm so brain dead after
My
sessions.
brain is like a scrambled egg right now.
Me
This is
too,
not my
me too,
hour.
me
Catch
too.
me in the morning.
But I know it's good. Me too.
Yes.
And we're so grateful for all of you for listening and being here with us and the great feedback we're getting, the reviews. Please keep that coming. Subscribe to Insights from the Couch. Share these episodes with your friends. And please take a minute to leave us a 5-star review if you're liking what you hear. It helps us spread the word and means so much to us. We're very grateful for you.
Yeah. And have a great holiday season. Enjoy this time, even if you are slightly annoyed
Yes.
and
Slightly
wanting it to be
annoyed.
January 15th. But
Yes, and full of joy all at the same
Yes.
time.
Yes.
And we will see you in the new year, 2025. Everyone have a wonderful holiday, and thanks again.
Take care, guys. Bye.